All right, we're starting our next section called employment benefits. And here we have the vocab listed out, which most of these are going to be common sense terms that you've heard before. So, for example, when you get your first job, or I should say full-time job, that there are going to be these following benefits. You're going to get things like insurance. That could be medical, dental, vision. You're going to get paid vacation time. You're going to get paid time off. You're going to possibly have access to a retirement plan or a stock ownership plan. You might even get things like childcare leave or workers' compensation, etc. So a base period is the amount of time that you're given for parts of these benefits. Unemployment insurance is if you are, for some reason, unable to work. There's actually insurance that pays for that. A pension is one of the retirement plans. You could have individual or family health care. So insurance is a deduction out of your paycheck, but it is given at a really low group rate. So it's a deduction, but it's something that you want to take advantage of because you're being given an option of a very low premium. Paid vacation time is a benefit, but not a deduction. Paid time off is a benefit. A retirement plan, if you choose to participate in a 401k or like a state retirement plan, like teachers are on CalSTRS. If you participate in one of these, it is also a deduction from your paycheck. But this is money that's being saved for you for later. So yes, it's a deduction, but it's a good news deduction because it's for you. Stock ownership plans, again, that's something that you would choose to participate in. It would be a deduction out of your paycheck, but again, it's something that you're saving for yourself for the future. Childcare leave is just a benefit. Workers' comp is just a benefit. Unemployment insurance is a benefit. Pension is a benefit. That also, though, sometimes can be a deduction and sometimes is not. Individual health care would be a deduction, but again, it would be at a group rate and a very low premium amount, if there is one. And same thing for family health care. Let's say it's you and a spouse and a child that are receiving benefits from your job. That would be a deduction from your paycheck, but it's at a nice low premium, a small group rate that would be deducted from your check each month. Okay, so what are the benefits of a job? The first time you get a full-time job, somebody's going to ask you, how are the benefits? You might think this is a foolish question because the best benefit of this job might be the salary, right? But this is just the monetary benefit. You're going to respond that you find satisfaction in working in a career that you trained for. This is an emotional benefit. So like, yes, I get paid to do this, but I love what I do. That's an emotional benefit. But the question is probably asking you about employee benefits. So it's not just important to find out what the salary is of a job, but what are the benefits of that job? So it could come in the form of insurance like health, life, or disability, paid vacation time, retirement plans, etc. All these words that we just saw above. While companies are not required to offer all of the above, there are some benefits that are required. Unemployment insurance is a government program that offers benefits through eligible employees who, through no fault of their own, have become unemployed. So if you get laid off by your company, unemployment insurance kicks in. You might have heard a lot of conversation about this in the recent years here with COVID, how many people are on unemployment. These workers must meet certain eligibility requirements, and it's meant to offer temporary assistance to people who are out of a job. Let's scroll down here a little bit. Salaries that employees earn during a fixed period of time, known as the base period, are what is used to calculate and make the determination of how much your unemployment would be. Another benefit that is required by the government is workers' compensation. And so this is if you get hurt on the job. So when you go into the doctor, sometimes one of the first things they ask you is, did you do this yourself or did you do this at work? And if it was done at work, your doctor will say, sorry, I can no longer help you. You need to go take care of this through the clinic for workers' comp. And so it's like two separate entities, your regular doctor and then the workers' comp doctor, if you happen to have gotten hurt by work. So the question that people ask you about your benefits when you get your job, They should be asking you before you accept your job because employee benefits add to the value of the employment beyond that salary. So be sure to ask questions, make sure you fully understand all the facets of the benefits you're offered with your employment. This can be like, you don't want to ask it in the interview time, but when you've accepted the position and then you can talk to HR and hash everything out at the last minute, find out your exact pay, that would be a perfect time to ask them about all those benefits to ensure that it's exactly what you understand. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 examples about employment benefits. Let's see what you think. Alan works for a printing company. It's been a little over 4 years since he was hired. He now makes $54,080 per year. When he was hired, he was told that he had 5 days of paid vacation time per year. All employees start with that amount. For each year that he worked at that company, he gets another 2 days of paid vacation time to a max of 20 days. That would be like 4 weeks off eventually. How many paid vacation days does he get now at the end of 4 years, and how much money will he earn on his vacation? So I want you to think back to Math 1 when we would do these little tables. So at time 0, let's call it year 0, he just got hired. You start with 5 days of paid vacation time. Okay? And then each year after, you accrue 2 vacation days up to a max of 20. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little table here. So in year 0, you have 5 days. After the first year, you have those 5 days plus the 2 that you accrued. Is this table starting to look familiar from Math 1? In the second year, you have the original 5 days, the 2 years from that, the next 2 days from that. So now we're at a total of 9. Can you see that we're just going to be adding 2 each year to the one before? So now we're going to be at 11, etc., etc. You're going to keep going until you hit 20. So I'm now in my 6th year with the company. I'm at 17. I'm in the 7th year with the company. I'm at 19. And then finally, in my 8th year with the company, I will accrue up to the 20 days of paid vacation. But this question is not asking me about that. It's asking me at the end of 4 years. So if you look right here, we're talking about this row. Okay, so we would answer this question by saying, at the end of 4 years, I will have 13 paid vacation days as my benefit. And so how much am I going to get if my salary is $54,080? We're first going to find out what the weekly is. And so 54,080 divided by 52 weeks in a year. Can you grab your calculators with me real quick? And I'm showing a weekly of 1,040. Is that what you got? So we want to break that up by day because we know it's 13 days. So 1040, how many days are in a normal work week? And so if we take that 1,040 and divide it by 5, we get 208 per day. So for 13 days of vacation, we would have 13 times that 208. So grab your calculator and multiply that 208 by 13. So our vacation payoff or vacation benefit is $2,704. It's basically our regular salary for 13 days. Okay, what do you think? Does this table remind you of Math 1? We haven't done a linear table like that in a long time. And if at the top of the table you want to write number of years that you're with the company, and then over here would be number of days of vacation that you've accrued, something like that at the top of your table. If you want to fill in the top of the table, feel free to put that. Okay. Does your work shown have to be in a table format like this? No, I just kind of wanted to break it down for you into something that you were familiar with from Math 1, but you're welcome to show your work for that 13 days however you like. All right, example 2, we're getting family health care as an employee benefit. Frida contributes 12% of the cost. So this is what I mean about having a small premium that you have to pay and then the employer covers the rest. That's one of the biggest benefits of working, that you get medical insurance for you and your family. So Frida gets paid on a bi-weekly basis, and she notices that $88.50 is taken out of each paycheck. So we know that $88.50 is 12% of some unknown number, X. So in this case, X represents the amount of the cost of family health care. And then she pays 12% of this unknown amount. So if we divide both sides by 0.12, I get 88.5 divided by 0.12. I'm getting 737.50. Now, what that is the cost of bi-weekly insurance. But we want to know how much the employer pays for the year. I should have actually set up here for the year, not just for this. So this 737.50 is the cost bi-weekly. Well, we remember that 737 means every other week for bi-weekly. So 737.50 times 26. 737.50 times 26. The cost of medical insurance for the family for this one employee is $19,175. But that's not what she's paying. That's the total cost. So we want to know how much is she paying versus how much is the company paying. So she pays 88.50 26 times per year. So 88.5 times 26, she's paying $23.01 for that insurance. And then that means that the employer is paying the difference. The $19,175 cost minus $23.01 that she pays throughout the year. And so that's $16,874. So again, yes, we get a great salary from our job and emotional benefit from it, but medical insurance is a huge deal. The fact that somebody else is paying for this much of a cost for you, this is one of the major reasons why people work, especially work for a different company, not self-employed, because then that group benefit really helps. So let me just make this font a little bit bigger in case you need it. Okay. Example 3, Mariana is planning on retiring at the end of this year after 25 years of employment. A retiring employee receives 1.5 of his or her average salary for the last 5 years multiplied by the number of years worked. So we first need to take an average of the salary. So you have to add all these numbers up. By the way, I see a typo of a little extra zero right there. So we're going to take 88,900 plus 92,200 plus 96,600 plus 98,000 plus 102. All of those are 5 salaries over the last 5 years, need to get added together to take the average. We divide it by 5. After we get that number, a retiring employee gets 1.5% of his or her average salary. So 0.015 times the average. So take a minute, grab your calculator with me while I do this. Double check me. I got 477,700 divided by 5, and that's 95,540. And we divide that by 5, and then we take that times 0.015. So 95,540 times 0.015, and that's 1433.10. And by the way, a pension is monthly, in case you didn't know. So this calculation is to find out how much per month is this person going to receive. Well, right now, before you freak out, you might be thinking, I'm not going to be able to live on $1,400 a month. Remember, you also have Social Security that's going to be coming in. But you're right, it's not like it's that much money. And so that's why a lot of people save in the stock market and other methods as well, besides just relying on their pension. Last one. Example 4. In Reese's state, the weekly unemployment compensation is 60% of the 26-week average. A quarter is 3 consecutive months. And so for these 3 months, it was this much. And these 3 months, it was this much to determine the unemployment compensation. So we're going to take those two, 9,800 and 9,024. And we're going to combine that together. So 9,800 plus 9,024, and that gives me 18,824 divided by 26 weeks. That's over a 6-month period, half of a year. And I got 724. Now, we don't get that full 724 weekly benefit. We get 60% up to a certain max. So 0.6 times 724 is 434.50. And if you go back up and look at my little note, the max for California is up to $450 per week. So this person would actually receive the full benefit of the $434 per week. But what if somebody made a lot more money and their 60% of that 26-week average was a lot more? Well, too bad. They only get the max benefit of $450 per week. So no matter how much you make, there is a max. This is under the max of $450 per week. So they would receive this full benefit of $434.50 per week. And again, think about that. That is not a lot of money to live off of. Multiply that by 4 weeks for the month. Now I'm going to pause the video here, and then we're going to do these notes tomorrow, the 5-5, okay? Hopefully those 4 were not too bad for you.